one of the biggest lessons I had to learn in my entrepreneur journey, and it's something that truly, completely changed my business and really my whole life, was letting go of the feeling of inferiority between myself that was being triggered when I saw other people being more successful, having more, doing better, making more money, being, just like what we could call more successful in so many different ways, personally and in the private life and in the business. And it will create in me that envy, that jealousy, that judgment, that negative sarcasm, that response to what I was seeing, what I was perceiving, and just like feeling like, oh, I'm just not enough, or, it's not working for me, or just like it was creating that feeling of inferiority where other people had more. And the reason why this was the biggest lesson is because I came to realize that you cannot hold this in yourself. You cannot respond, react to that. Because the more you live in that state of envy, of jealousy, of bitterness, and the more you basically unhappy with what other people have and the wins they have and so on, the more you're creating the lack of that experience in your life. Now you may be wondering, how is that even connected between them and me, and what does it all have to do? It has all to do with worthiness, and it has all to do with giving permission to others. You see, for the subconscious mind, we all want, it's all connected, it's own personal. The subconscious mind takes everything personally. So when I see another person and I start to be envious or jealous or to judge them, or to just have that negative thing going on in my mind, right, in regard to what they have or how they appear, how they show up in the world, it's taking this personally. So when I'm not giving them permission, when I'm not giving them congratulations, when I'm not celebrating, quote unquote, them and what they have and so on, I am not giving that permission to myself. Does that make sense? It is so important to understand that you are making yourself prisoner, holding yourself back, limiting yourself. The more you have envy, jealousy, the more you feel inferior, is the more you're going to perpetuate those experiences. The more you're going to attract people in your life who have more, who piss you off or create that judgment or bring that thing, right? That feeling of inferiority that comes often disguised as judgment. And so learning to see that, learning to understand that the judgment, the bolt of judgment goes through you first. And so what you send out comes back. And so as you limit others in your perception, you limit yourself in your own life. And so as long as I was limiting others, for the money they were making and the success they were having and the all these type of things, right? I was imposing that judgment and that limitation on me. Not only that, but I was making myself miserable. A few years ago when my business wasn't doing very well, and when I was like constantly on Instagram and social media seeing other people like that, you're in a state where you're not happy, right? So that's already the first price you're paying straight away. But beyond that, it was just making it much harder on myself to create the success I was so desiring. And so learning to graduate from this required to let go of that feeling of unworthiness, of inferiority and judging, comparing myself to others. So it's multi-layered. There's a lot of things going on, right? Depending on who you are, what's happening. And just like that whole, the grass is greener on the other side paradigm, and it's all garbage. You gotta be able to water your own grass, cultivate, nurture your own garden. That's really what it is. And you have to realize that the judgment, the envy, the jealousy, the judgment, all these things is drying out your freaking garden. And so you end up with a garden that is not fruitful, right? The trees are not bearing beautiful fruit. It's a very drought season. And you're starving. You're getting my metaphor here. But anyway, how did you overcome this is very important, because I'll tell you exactly what I was doing, and it's actually not rocket science. It's catching it. You see, when you catch it, you're already halfway there. The other halfway is overcoming the resistance of just praising them. And it's not like you have to go and comment or send them a message or whatever, because most of those people, you don't even know them, right? And they're irrelevant in the story, but you're just projecting something on them. So, but it's noticing, okay, I'm being judgmental now. Okay, I'm being envious now. Okay, I have this thing going on now. just letting go of that resistance that was just like, preventing me from saying like, you deserve it, well done, kudos, bravo. And once you let go of that resistance, this whole process becomes easier. And then it becomes a habit, right? Because you start to realize that their success has nothing to do with me. It has, right? Metaphysically it has, but indirectly, in terms of life and so on, those people that you don't know, that you see on Instagram, some people that you do know, whatever, there's no bearing whether that person is really happy and successful and doing well. It doesn't mean anything about my life. Doesn't make sense. So I might as well learn to celebrate them, to be like, thank you for showing me what's possible. Well done for you. You're happy because it's simply a representation of the possibilities that are possible in your own life. So when you start to cultivate that mindset, it is a game changer. Not only, like I told you, you feel lighter, you feel less judgmental, you feel less bitter, you feel less envious. So your whole state, your whole energy, what you send out start to change. And what you start to let in start to change, because again, this is giving yourself the permission and the worthiness that I deserve those nice things too, that life is free and abundance for all. So when I can hold other people in esteem and congratulate them and seeing them as being worthy and capable and deserving of all the nicest things in life, I am one with the golden rule: wish unto others what you want on yourself. And when I am in a negative, judging, criticizing, envying, I am working against the golden rule, because now I am wishing on others what I don't wish for myself. And so the cause and effect, the karma, and all these type of things that we could call, karma or whatever, I'm just inviting that experience back in me, because my state of consciousness control my life. So as I learned to clean out, detox, empty out, that bucket of criticism and envy, I started pouring something new into it. And I all realized that it was just my own unworthiness, my own inferiority feelings that was being projected on others. And it was, all the defensive mechanism and all that stuff, right? So it was all about me and not about them. And so the beauty there, and the reason why this was a big catalyst for me, is that when I started to give other people permission, I gave myself permission. When I started to make other people feel worthy, just in my own mind, right? In the story I was telling myself, what I was really telling to my subconscious mind is I give myself permission to be worthy as well. And I give myself permission to have nice things, to be successful, to make money, to whatever, right? So I invite you to reflect in your life. If you are feeling, envious, jealous, judgmental, if you are, negative, especially on social media when a lot of people love to compare each other and it's creating that negative cycle in your life, one of the biggest things you can do is to remember that how I treat others and what I wish for others and how I respond to what others have is a direct reflection to what I allow myself to have. So as long as I hold other people who are successful and rich and wealthy and all those things you may want, in disdain, in envy, in jealousy, and judgment, I will repel these things from my life. Not only that, but I will pay the price by being miserable in the moment. So I hope this lesson invites you to really look inside and to let go of whatever it is you're projecting on those people, those things, those experiences, and to try to simply start to appreciate them, congratulate them, and be happy for them, because why not? What you give, you receive. Hope that makes sense. Let me know what you think down in the comments, guys. I will see you in my next video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Be well.